Many of our Catholic traditions, our devotions, have been forgotten. Not entirely lost, but forgotten. Your Catholic ancestors had hundreds of reinforcements in their life to not only foster true devotion to Jesus Christ in their hearts, in their family, but these Catholic traditions formed a Catholic culture. And since the 1960s, we've lost a lot of them. And I'm about to go live on a Catholic webinar, and we're going to discuss in this webinar 3 lost Catholic traditions. There's actually hundreds of Catholic traditions that are not employed, not used by some, but in general, I think Catholics have lost that. And so tonight we're going to cover 3 areas of lost Catholic tradition. First off, we're going to talk about the church year and Catholic time. How do you order your day as a Catholic, your week, the rhythm of Friday penance and Sunday celebration? It's something we've totally lost. We need to recover that. We're going to talk about Lent and fasting and Ember days and Vigil days. And then the second category of lost tradition we're going to cover in the webinar is Marian Devotions. Since the 60s, a lot of the Marian Devotions have been cast aside. They're seen as sort of like POD, pious and overly devotional. And yet Our Lady is the magnifier. My soul magnifies the Lord. So Our Lady magnifies Jesus Christ. And so we need to recover some of these lost devotions and traditions regarding our Blessed Mother, the Mother of God, Mary, most holy. And then third, and I'm really excited about this one for the webinar, Eucharistic devotions. How do you receive communion rightly? You know, one thing we'll talk about is Saturday preparation. Catholics used to make preparation on Saturday to receive communion. We'll talk about how to receive communion devoutly. Look at some of the things the saint says. For example, St. John Vianney said that a communion well received is worth more than giving 20,000 francs to the poor, but received well. How do we receive communion well? How do we show proper worship and adoration to our Lord Jesus in the Eucharist? This is what we are going to talk about in this live webinar. There's already over 2,000 people registered. I do these webinars every few months, high energy, great people, excited audience. These are Catholics who are on fire and want to learn more. And I want to invite you. If you've been to one before, come again. If this is your first time, please come. A webinar is kind of like a YouTube video, but I'm giving you resources live as I'm talking to you. I'm sharing things on the screen. It's kind of a more interactive form of teaching, and that's the Catholic webinar. So below me is the registration link. 100% free. There is no cost, and you're going to get a lot of free resources, so you don't want to miss out on it. I'll also be giving away some things, as I always do. I'll give away, a book or so. I'll give away a 1-year tuition to New St. Thomas Institute to people who are present. It's very fun. It's very encouraging. It's a live webinar, and we're going to learn a lot. And when you rediscover, even if you just put in place a few things that we covered tonight, it's going to help you in your Catholic faith. We have this treasure box of devotions, and some of those devotions are a little dusty. So we're going to dust them off. We're going to talk about them. We're going to talk about how you can apply these lost traditions, the church year, Catholic time, sanctifying time, through the liturgical calendar, through the feast days, through the fast days. We're going to look at Marian devotions, things that have been lost, like the little office of the Blessed Virgin. We'll talk about scapular medals, etc. And then Eucharistic piety. Since the 1970s, thanks be to God, there was a restoration of Eucharistic adoration and even benediction of the Blessed Sacrament. But there's so many other things that we can be doing as Catholics to evangelize ourselves and to evangelize others. So join me for this Catholic webinar. Again, it's free. You'll be there with a lot of on fire Catholics, confident Catholics, high info Catholics, and we'll be going through some extremely valuable information. So the link, I'll put the link in the live chat right now so you have it. There's the link. Link doesn't seem to be working. Well, maybe it is. Yeah, there it is. And you can also get the link below. There it is. All right, tonight, live webinar, 3 lost traditions. Don't miss it. Reserve your spot, and I'll see you in a little over 10 minutes. It's going to be great. God bless and Godspeed.